Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. I'm Ross Benjamin. Folks, I hope you had a wonderful, a festive, and a safe Thanksgiving holiday. Here's the big question. How was Doug's Thanksgiving holiday?
Well, I don't know. Let's see here. Go through this again. Safe, borderline, fun, yes. And festive. I forget what your other point was, festive. But festive, yes. So how about a 2-0-1 record?
Nice.
so
where was the push on? The push was on
safe.
Oh, okay. But did we get into some of your favorite stuff this past weekend or what?
No, just sometimes you just you know how it goes. Sometimes you're not paying attention, and so. And all of a sudden it creeps up on you. So
absolutely,
it's one of those things. And then, and then that Saturday, I don't know about you, but I don't like this at all. When you have you have your football picks, and this happens often enough, but when you start, first thing you got in your case, you got the 12 o'clock start, and you got a game, you got every quadrant of time you have games in for your bets.
Gotcha.
And for your customers and stuff like that. So that's what I had this week. And it's just it's just so exhausting, going through that.
Yeah. People don't realize
those that they make their picks and just don't watch because then they just don't know. I admire that quality, but I'm just not one of those people.
I'm not either, Doug. I'm not either, Doug. I agree with you. I've long contended that, especially what we're doing now, right, Doug? I mean, we're talking about sports betting all week long. I mean, you're on with me twice a week. I'm on this program 5 times a week. You're doing your own show Tuesday through Sunday for Docs. By the way, DocSports.com is where you could find Doug, one of the finest handicapping sites anywhere on the planet, folks. Been around for 51 years and some stellar handicappers there. But having said that, you do your videos 6 days a week for Docs as well, and does a great job, folks. So on top of these videos you're getting here, you could also find Doug at DocSports.com or at his YouTube page, which I believe is at Doug Upstone.
No, it's all under Docs now. Everything's under Docs.
Okay, so where would they find if they want to find?
If the easiest way to find me is Docs Sports Free Picks.
Okay.
Just put that in, you're good to go, and you'll see mine and everybody else's free picks there too.
Okay, and then at Doc Sports, are you guys videos listed there, or is that done?
Yeah. All you go in there, just click on the Docs. It comes up, the Docs icon comes up. You click on that, and everything's right there. And obviously, if you've been around, you can go through and pick the individual handicappers that you like. And of course, I'm partial. I like my videos, so and I win a lot of the videos as opposed to many people. I track the records and do all of those things to make sure that people understand what kind of records I have, good or bad. But it's always right there. Always listen. If you go to my Twitter page, it's also right there too, and that's Doug Upstone at Twitter.
Yeah, there you go, folks. Not only can you get great videos here on this channel with a lot of great handicappers, but you could also get Doug 6 times a week over at Doc Sports doing his daily videos, and he likes his own videos compared to the rest, and I'm biased as well. I like his videos compared to the rest, and that's nothing, and I'm sure Doug will echo his sentiment. Nothing against the other gentlemen on that site, because they're all terrific handicappers, or else they wouldn't be there. Anyway, you could find me at rbwins.com, folks. Coming off a 3-1 Sunday in the NFL. That's consecutive 3-1 Sundays in the NFL. And Saturday, 2-2 in college football, but I did hit my 10-star top play on Oregon State, who roared back to overcome a 21-point second-half deficit to defeat Oregon at 38-34. And as we were talking off air, what a choke job by Oregon. I got to love it, Dougie. So anyway, now it gets real. Coming up this Saturday, we got 8 conference title games, I believe. 2 more on Friday evening, and we're going to be covering those on today's show. And also one other game that's a write-in, Buffalo and Akron. if anybody cares. That game will be played Friday afternoon at 1:00. It's a makeup game for last 2 weeks ago. Buffalo was supposed to entertain Akron, and they got hit up with that big snowstorm. Okay, Doug, how about we get going with the picks? Instead of boring anybody with some chatter.
If I may,
Sure.
I have one story for you. I think you know about it, and I'll make it quick as possible because it was so interesting what happened. Okay, for those that don't know, on Friday afternoon, early Friday, Utah State and Buffalo. Utah State, Boise State played. So Utah State was getting 17.5 because this was all over Twitter. But it was one of the worst bad beats of the season, maybe of a couple of seasons. Anyway, so Utah State's going down a score. They're 28-23, they're behind. 4th down, throw the ball towards the end zone, knocked away, incomplete. So they're down 5 with 91 seconds to go. Okay. Oh, no, I'm sorry. With a minute. I think it was 80 seconds to go.
Okay.
So Boise State stopped the first play. Next play, 91-yard touchdown pass or touchdown run. Okay. Cuts the deficit down. Okay. Kickoff. Utah State, screws up the kickoff. First play from scrimmage, interception, touchdown for Boise State.
Wow.
Boise State wins the game 42-23, covering the 17.5 with 80 seconds to go. That happens.
That only happens in college football. Well, shouldn't say it only happens in college football. More times than not, when we see irregularities like that, it happens in college football. And no, folks, we're not trying to tell you the games are fixed, okay? You conspiracy theorists out there, stay in your own little delusional world and leave us out of it, because you're not going to get either one of us to grasp onto your conspiracy theory.
No, but it was fascinating. I mean, it was a fascinating story, and you can watch it tonight. It's seeing this is Monday. You can watch it tonight because for sure it's going to be on with Scott Van Pelt on Bad Beats. I can guarantee.
I had a bad beat, Doug, on Thanksgiving Day.
Okay,
I had the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh yeah,
I mean they missed a chip shot. Yeah, they missed a chip shot field goal that would have put them up 18 or something like that.
Yep.
And then the Giants get the ball back with 1 minute, a little over a minute to play, no timeouts, and a team that hasn't moved the ball at all in the second half. And lo and behold, they go to the length of the field and score with 8 seconds to go.
Right. And by the way, too, just so you know, Parsons, the linebacker for that, I did send him a Christmas card for that 15-yard penalty he took.
Ugh.
Okay. So, because that was the game.
Yeah.
Why
did you send him a Christmas card?
Well, because I thanked him, because I actually as opposed to you, I had the Giants in that game.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I had the opposite side.
All right.
I was happy as could be that happened.
Very good.
So sorry about that, but hey.
No, it happens. I mean, we talk about being on both sides of the table. I mean, how about me with Oregon State? I mean, if you had Oregon, I'm sure you're considering that a huge bad beat, and rightfully so. So, I mean, it happens, Doug. We always remember the ones we lose like that, but we never acknowledge fully that we may have got lucky when we won a play or two,
which is unhealthy, by the way. It's much better to balance it up, which
exactly.
I think we both agree with. You just have to do it.
Well, you got to stop putting all those bad beats in that little black book.
Yeah,
you got to have another. I'm going to buy you a book for Christmas, Doug. All your positivity and wins that maybe you didn't deserve.
Okay, I already got this figured out. I think I've told you, but somebody asked me about this the other day. So on my tombstone, I'm going to have a message board. Okay, and it's going to say, if Doug would have lived longer, except for the 2014 Bahamas Bowl and the overtime games.
Oh my goodness!
So that'll be a running. So if you see it, it just be a running message all the time for all of eternity to see.
There you go. We could go on and on with those.
I know we're going to cover
that show.
I'm good to go.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get into our games, Doug. Let's start with you. As you're going to be taking a look at a conference championship game on Friday night and take us through it.
Sure, absolutely. Well, the very first conference championship game this year will feature Conference USA, North Texas at UT San Antonio. It'll be Friday night at 7:30 Eastern time on the CBS Sports Network. Now, UTSA, as they are known, is the defending Conference USA champion, and this year they were a perfect 8-0, but just 4-4 against the spread. So nothing special from that standpoint. Now, most of the preseason magazines that I saw had North Texas in the middle of the pack for Conference USA. And after they started 2-3, that was looking pretty close to being accurate. Now, some of their losses, losing to SMU and at Memphis, was certainly not disgraceful. But what was disgraceful was losing by 31 at UNLV. That was terrible. But this team regrouped. They won 5 of their last 7 games, which were all conference games, and the only 2 they lost were their alphabet assignments, UTSA and UAB. Okay. Now, North Texas, they won the tiebreaker they had a 6-2 record. They won the tiebreaker by wasting Western Kentucky 40-13 to get to this point. Now, if you know anything about Conference USA, defense is a word. You won't see the person with the signs that says defense. No, you won't see that with these two. But so how you have to look at when you look at this game to try and break it down, you have to forget the non-conference games, stick with just conference games. And actually, they were pretty comparable this year. The Roadrunners gave up 22.3 points per game. The Mean Green of North Texas, 23 points per game.
So and that's within conference, Doug?
That's within strictly conference.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so because I think that's a better way to judge the teams, based on especially when your conference isn't very good in the grand scheme of things. So both offenses, though, I think were comparable as well. North Texas 35 points per game, 460 yards. UTSA 38, so 3 more and at 480 yards in conference action. Each team had fewer turnovers in the second half of the season compared to the first. UTSA, though, was a little better in generating turnovers. They had more than 2 per game. North Texas was just under. Now, the Roadrunners are an 8-point home favorite in this one, which is down 2 points from their previous meeting 6 weeks ago, which was 10, in which the Roadrunners won the game, a tight one though, 31-27. Now, I'm the first to agree, Ross, and maybe from the standpoint, if you're looking to bet on numbers only, that the 8 that's a big number. But I think UTSA, with what's at stake and playing at home, I think they're going to be better prepared for a better game this upcoming week to defend their title. I think their pass offense generates a lot of big plays. Their run defense completely shut down North Texas last time, and they also rushed the passer well, had a number of sacks in that one. I'm offhand on the 8. I'm going to take a wait and see approach here as we do this on Monday to see if we can get a lower number, ideally 7. If you can get if you get UTSA at -7, jump on it all over it. Otherwise, though, I still am confident in taking it. I'm going to say that the Roadrunners of UTSA, in this case, they defend their conference championship from a year ago and win this one by double digits and putting down the -8 in this one.
So UTSA -8 over North Texas. Yeah, I hadn't played Conference USA all year. I realized that when I was looking at the card this week. And when you brought that up, I still look at the scores every week in every conference because I'm always looking for betting value. And having said all that, I was surprised when I was looking at the lineups for the conference championship games to see North Texas in the Conference USA championship game because, like you just alluded to, I remembered number one, they weren't highly thought of in a lot of preseason magazines going in. And number 2, they got off to that rough start. And they turned their season around. But you know what? Fool me once, shame on me. Try to fool me twice, shame on you. And I think UTSA comes up big here. I tend to agree with Doug and everything he had to say about the game. So UTSA -8 over North Texas. I'm going to take a look at the Pac-12 Championship game. Will take place on Friday night, national TV game. It's Utah and USC, a rematch of the regular season game, which Utah won 43-42, and it was in thrilling fashion. And this line opened with USC being -1. They're now up to -3. Keep in mind, folks, unlike the Conference USA Championship game, which will be played at UTSA on one of the team's home field, this is at a neutral site, Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. I'm sure that it'll be packed for that game, and electric atmosphere and a beautiful facility. So looking much forward to this contest. Here's the way I broke it down, Doug. USC 11-1 on the season. I already touched upon their loss to Utah. That was their only loss of the year. So they'll be coming into this with big time revenge. Not only that, urgency and desperation will be heavily on the side of USC here. This is a team in USC that if you want to build a model for how you turn a program around in 1 year, Lincoln Riley did it. He brought in 19 transfers on the transfer portal, many of which were major contributors to this team. Easy for me to say. And this USC team, boy, oh boy, it looked like the Oklahoma offense all season long when Lincoln Riley was there, because the Trojans have scored 41 points or more in 10 of 12 games this year. USC also 9-0 on the season when playing on a grass surface and winning those games by 20.4 points per game. While Utah at 9-3, they were only 2-2 on grass. So something to keep in mind there. Another thing, USC does not beat themselves. They're not great defensively, but they've only turned the ball over 2 times all season long, folks. That's incredible. And also a plus 22 turnover differential on the season. And Utah, on the other hand, they are 6-0 at home this year, but only 3-3 in games played outside of the state of Utah. And they lose to Florida, UCLA, and Oregon. And I just think that the urgency and desperation here to get to the college football playoffs, which I will be shocked, as well as many others, probably Doug himself too, if USC wins this game and they don't make the college football playoffs. I think it's almost a 99% certainty they will. And there's just too much at stake for USC in this game. I like the way they're playing right now. I like the turnover differential part of it. I like the revenge factor. I like USC lay the 3 over Utah. Back to you, Doug.
Yes, I agree with you on that one. I think there's a lot of factors, in their favor coming into this one. And, Utah played a great game in the last one, but that was at home. Okay, going to be a completely different atmosphere in this one, even though there'll be a lot of people from Utah there because for whatever reasons, well, actually I know the reason, but Mormons love Vegas. Okay, so they'll have a large contingent there, but I think just overall, I think they got enough going on there with USC, the talent that they have, and the other thing, USC. They gave up 43 points, I think it was, to Utah last time on defense, but they still have more speed, more team speed, and that really showed up in each one of Utah's losses, okay? Their team speed on defense just wasn't there this year, so I think USC is good to go on this one as too. And the line, even at 3 to me, is a pretty good number.
No doubt about it. And, USC's quarterback playing at an elite level. He's now
Heisman Trophy winner.
he's going to end up being a Heisman Trophy winner, barring something unforeseen. So a lot of positives the way of USC. And, Doug, sometimes you got to keep it simple. You weigh up the pros and the cons, and the pros for USC certainly outweigh the cons when I handicap this game. And it sounds to me like you did the same thing with the UTSA game.
Yep.
So it's UTSA is a 8-point favorite over North Texas in the Conference USA Championship game. And for me, I'm going to take USC in the Pac-12 title game -3. Game played in Las Vegas against Utah. All right. So for Doug Upstone, you could find him at DocSports.com. That's DocSports.com. Not only his picks on a daily basis, great subscription plans that are really affordable. Also, check out his videos. He does by himself daily. Very informative. I check him out. I always pick something up from Doug. And Doug will tell you himself, I'm sure, without speaking for him, that the minute you stop trying to learn something in this business is you're asking to fail. Simple as that, right, Doug? Anyway.
I agree with you. in life.
and life in general, no doubt about it. All right, for Doug Upstone and Ross Benjamin, we'll be back with Doug on Thursday. I'll be back tomorrow with one of the red hot handicappers in the NFL this year, Mr. Sean Higgs, who Jesse Shule, another guy on our site. I saw he commented on his video today that we should test Sean Higgs for steroids because he's having an incredible season. Anyway, until the next time, good luck and God bless, folks.